Now we can do an LSAT logic game. We're using test number 55 that was administered in October 2008, and it's available from lsac.org. We're going to section 4 in the booklet, but we're doing the first game, which is questions 1 through 6. There are exactly 6 law students. Imagine yourself in this game. Here they're called Giambini, and Little, and Mitchum, and Richardson, and Saito, and Veracruz. This is the Law School Admission Council's solution to cultural bias. They give you names from around the world, but they do it in alphabetical order. These law students are in a trial advocacy class. The class is divided into 3 teams, 1, 2, and 3, and each has 2 students. Each student prepares exactly one of either an opening argument or a final argument. And the teams must be formed according to the following specifications. Mitchum is on the same team as either Giambini or Veracruz. So Mitchum has needs. He has to be either with Giambini or with Veracruz. Little prepares an opening argument. So we already know about Little up here. And either Giambini or Richardson, but not both, prepares a final argument. So this is what they told us explicitly. They said one or the other, but not both, does a final. But they've also told us that one, but not both, does an opening. So now we've learned that 2 of the 3 opening spaces are already taken advantage of, and 1 of the closing spaces is already taken advantage of. And now look up here. We have a real friendly little Saito, who's a floater, who's a free agent, even in law school. Now we're going to let the nerds teach us about the game as we go through the first question and we check our conditions against the options to see which one the nerds will let us use. We know that Little has to prepare an opening statement, and if we look at answer B, Little is doing a final, so that won't work. Now Mitchum has needs. Has to be on the same team as either Giambini or Veracruz. Well, answer A, Mitchum is with Veracruz. Answer B, which we've already eliminated, Mitchum is with Giambini. But answer C, Mitchum is with Saito, so that won't work. And now, just to be careful, we check on answer D, Mitchum and Giambini, and answer E, Mitchum and Giambini. Now, either Giambini or Richardson, but not both, prepares a final argument. We have to be careful. Answer A, Giambini and Richardson are both doing a final argument, so that won't work. But we still have D and E that we have to check out. And if we look at answer E, both Giambini and Richardson are doing an opening argument, so neither is doing a final argument. So this answer violates the conditions for a slightly different reason, and that's a very common situation that shows up on the games. The nerds are nice people. They told us that answer D will work. They told us we could have Giambini and Mitchum. Then they told us that we could have Little and Richardson. And then they told us we could have Veracruz and Saito. So, M has his needs helped with G. G is the opposite of R, and L is doing an opening argument. It's nice to see what a right answer looks like. Question 2. If Giambini's on the same argument as Mitchum, well, that just happened. But here, Giambini prepares the final argument for that team. So we switch things around a little. We know that we have G here. M has his needs kept. Then we know that R is over here because it's opposite G. And we know that L is an opening argument. And now we're not sure about V or S. And that's good because we're in the world of could be, must be. The question says, then which of the following could be true? Answer A. Little is on the same team as Veracruz. That could happen. But could Veracruz do the opening argument? No, Little does. Answer A won't work. Answer B. Richardson's on the same team as Saito. That could happen. And Saito prepares the opening argument for the team. No, because that's going to be closing. So A and B are wrong for essentially the same reason in slightly different conditions, but it's a very common situation, and so you shouldn't feel bad about eliminating both of the answers because they're both wrong in the same type of way. Now look at answer C. Richardson's on the same team as Saito. That could happen again. And now Saito prepares the final argument for the team, and that could happen. And then Veracruz could be down here. So C's our answer. And do you notice how B and C were playing off of each other? That actually increases the reliability of the test from the nerd's perspective, and so it helps you and it helps them feel good about your answer. Now question 3. Which of the following could be true? Oh my goodness, it's a very vague situation. All we have is the original rules. But look at answer A. Giambini, who prepares a final argument, is on the same team as Richardson. Well, that could happen. They're opposite each other, guaranteed. Well, M has their needs, so has to be with V, but we really don't know about the order of M and V, and then L has to be an opening, and so S started out as a floater, but now he's stuck as a final with L. Well, look, A is our answer. Should we tell nobody about B, C, D, and E? Nobody cares. Question 4. If R is on the same team as V, well, this is slightly different than what we've had before, but at this point we really don't know what order R and V are in. Well, M would have to be with G, and since it's opposite R, we could do it this way, but we could do it the other way. So we really don't know about the order of those people. We just know that G and R are different, and M would be with G. Then L has to be opening, and S was a floater, but now it's stuck with L, the same way it was in the last question. There's a teaching process that's going on in the game. Now what's the question say? Exactly how many of the students can be determined which argument he or she prepares? Well, L and S are the only ones we know. The others are alternates. So don't be worried about your indeterminacy on the games. You should like the indeterminacy in the world of could be, must be, because 2 is our answer. That's the exact number that we know, and the others we don't. Question 5. If L is on the same team as R, and so it happened here, okay, and notice we had to be opposite. That, oh, well, L is on the same team as R. Well, L is already opening, and R is closing, so G is opening, and this M could go down with S, and we could switch that around, couldn't we? And that's good because the world of could be, must be. Then which of the following must be true? Answer E. G prepares an opening argument. We don't worry that we could switch those people around. That's fine. It makes us feel better on a could be, must be question because the only thing we definitely know is that G is opening, and the less we do, the easier the answer is. Question 6. If S prepares an opening argument, oh my goodness, they finally got S to do an opening argument. Well, look what happens. S is opening, L is opening, and either R or G is opening, and then M has their needs. So V is going to be over here, and M is going to be over here, so M has to go with G, and then R and V are left. We like its could be. Which of the following pairs of students could be on the same team as each other? It's going to be S with either R or V or L. And look at answer C. L and V could be together, and S and R could be together. They would be opposite. G would be their help. And answer C is our answer. Testing for the public. Nonprofit since 1985. Nobody makes things easier.